I remember a night that still lives in my chest like an echo. The house was quiet, but my mind would not settle. I lay on my back, staring at the ceiling, and felt that sharp little sting close to the scar, the kind of sting that makes your heart jump before your brain can catch up. My first thought was, not this again. My second thought was, what if it is back? If you have finished treatment and felt that jolt, you know how a normal twinge can turn into a thunderstorm in seconds. You ring the bell. You hug everyone. You take the photos that are supposed to be the end of the story. And yet, a new chapter begins that no one explained with enough tenderness. I want to talk to you from that place where surviving and living feel like two different languages. If you are here, you are probably fluent in both. The promise I want to make is simple and real. There are ways to quiet the invisible alarms, to sleep a little better without fear of opening a point, to understand what is normal healing and what deserves a call to your team, and to rebuild your days with small choices that give back a sense of control. No miracle claims. Only what I have seen work again and again in people who got to the last chemo or the last radiation and wondered why the celebration did not switch off the anxiety. We will start with the nights, because nights are where fear grows. After breast surgery, many people try to sleep the way they always did and wake up aching and scared. A safer way that helps a lot is to lie on your back with the upper part of the bed slightly elevated using pillows or the bed base. Then place a soft pillow under each arm so the shoulders rest and the chest does not pull. If turning to the side feels necessary, choose the side opposite the surgery, hug a medium pillow in front of your body, and slide another between your knees. This creates a small nest that keeps the arm from rolling forward and protects the scar from tugging. A tiny routine before bed helps even more. About an hour before you plan to sleep, dim the lights, put your phone away, choose gentle music or the sound of rain. Take a warm shower if your team has already allowed it, and keep the dressings dry the way they taught you. Put on soft clothes that do not press the chest, and arrange your medicines and a water sip on the nightstand so you do not need to hunt for anything at 3 a.m. People often forget that drinking a lot of water right before bed will wake you, so try to spread fluids through the day and taper in the last 2 hours unless your doctor said otherwise. These simple steps sound small, but they are the kind of small that changes a night, and a better night changes a day. I once spoke with a woman who said she had not slept through the night once since her surgery. She kept trying to sleep on her side facing the operated breast because that was her habit. And every time the scar pulled, she woke in a panic, sure she had broken something. When she tried the back position with the pillow cradle, she did not sleep like a baby on the first night, but she woke only twice and with no stab of fear. By the end of the week, the morning pain had softened and her mind was less on red alert. There is also a secret that almost no one mentions. Pain that gets worse every day is a red flag, but a gentle ache that comes and goes, a feeling of pulling when you raise your arm a little, or a warm itch. As the skin heals are common healing sensations. Skin can look pink after radiation. A scar can feel tight when you stretch, and tiny zaps of sensation can appear as nerves wake up. When does it deserve a call to the team? If the breast or incision becomes very red and hot, if there is swelling that grows fast, if fluid leaks with a strong smell, if you get a fever, if you feel short of breath, chest pain, a sudden calf swelling or pain, or if an arm grows much bigger in a short period. Those are not things to wait on. Your team wants to hear from you early rather than late. And please remember one quiet rule that protects many arms. On the side where lymph nodes were removed, avoid measuring blood pressure, taking injections, or letting them draw blood. Protect that arm from cuts, burns, and heavy bags. Wear gloves for dishes or gardening, moisturize the skin daily, and choose a soft sleeve that does not pinch if clothes leave a mark. These are not just cautious rituals. They are practical steps that lower the chance of swelling called lymphedema and help you feel that you are not just waiting for the next storm. A patient once told me she kept her emotional balance by having 2 simple sentences ready when fear hit at bedtime. The first was, "I can scan my body with kindness, not with panic." She would breathe slowly, count to 4 in, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, and then ask herself if anything had changed in the last day, or if this sensation was similar to yesterday and fading. If it was the same or softer, she would say sounds like healing and turn back to her breath and the sound of rain. The second sentence was, "If this feels different tomorrow morning, I will call my team." That promise let her put the fear on a small chair in the corner instead of letting it drive the night. If this explanation helped you exhale even a little, leave a comment telling me where the night hurts the most for you. Right now, you can write, "I want to sleep without pain," so other women will see they are not alone and find some relief in your words. Comments like yours make the platform show this topic to more people who need it, so your voice truly helps. If you want another tiny anchor for the nights, here is a small routine of 5 minutes. Sit on the bed with feet on the floor. Place your hands on your belly. Breathe in through your nose to a count that feels comfortable, and watch your hands. Rise gently. Exhale slowly through your mouth and watch them fall. Do this 5 times. Then imagine a gentle wave moving from the top of your head to your toes, pausing at the chest where the tide is tender. Thank that place for the work it is doing to knit you back together. That small gesture reminds your nervous system that you are not under attack. Little things like this are not fluff. They reduce the adrenaline that keeps your mind on guard and make room for rest. Food can also be a quiet ally. You do not need a strict plan that turns meals into math. Focus on protein at each meal to rebuild tissue, simple fruits and vegetables for color and fiber, whole grains for steady energy, and enough water during the day to keep urine a pale straw color. During times when your counts are low or you have open wounds, be extra careful with food safety. Wash produce well, keep cooked and raw foods separate, heat leftovers to steaming, and when in doubt, toss it. Alcohol can slow healing and disrupt sleep, so consider a pause while your body finds its rhythm again. And a word on vitamins and teas, because this is where many people fall into the hidden mistake. Some supplements can increase bleeding risk close to surgery. High doses of certain antioxidants can interfere with how some treatments work, and herbs that act like hormones may not be right for hormone-sensitive tumors. Always check with your oncology team before starting or restarting any capsule or tea sold as natural. Natural does not always mean safe for your specific situation, and your case deserves care that fits only you. If anything here gave you a little peace, consider tapping like or sharing this with a friend who cannot sleep after surgery. Gentle actions like that tell the algorithm that this subject matters, and they help another woman find a calmer night. Before we close this first part, I want to say something that might feel obvious, but often gets swallowed by noise. You are not weak because you are afraid after the bell. Fear after a trauma is a normal brain trying to keep you safe. With the right tools, you can thank that alarm system and teach it new settings. If this video makes sense for you, I invite you to subscribe. Here, you will never walk alone. Every week, we bring simple and sincere explanations to help you feel safer in your choices, soften anxiety, and show that life with quality is possible during and after treatment. Click subscribe and come take care of yourself with us. For tonight, build your pillow nest, set your little 5-minute ritual, and give your body the credit it deserves for bringing you this far. The end of treatment is not the end of your story. It is the start of living again with tenderness and courage, one night at a time. There is a memory that returns like a photograph whenever I talk about the weeks after the last appointment. It is me standing in front of my closet with the drain removed and the bandage lighter, trying to choose a simple shirt, and realizing I had no idea how to dress this new chest without hurting or rubbing. That is how ordinary life announces itself after the storm. Not with grand speeches, but with the weight of a seatbelt across a tender scar, the strap of a bag on the wrong shoulder, the first shower when you are not sure how to keep the dressing dry. People told me go live your life, and I remember thinking I am trying, but someone please tell me how. So let us talk like a friend who has already made the mistakes, so you do not need to repeat them. In the first weeks after surgery, your body wants stillness and smart movement. The most common hidden error is to test the limits too soon. Lifting a heavy grocery bag, reaching the top shelf, scrubbing a pan with force, or driving before your team clears, you can pull on tissues that are still knitting. Another quiet trap is pressure on the healing area. Choose soft front-closing bras designed for post-surgery if your team recommends them, avoid underwires until you get the green light, and look for clothes with smooth seams. When you shower, a simple trick saves a lot of stress. Set everything you need within easy reach before you turn on the water. Cover the dressing with the protection your team taught you, or keep it dry if that is the current instruction. Use warm water, not hot, and pat dry with a soft towel. No rubbing. Then check the skin in good light. If you see strong redness spreading or feel heat that was not there, call. A woman once told me she learned the hard way about kitchen heat. She was feeling strong, decided to lean over a boiling pot, and the steam irritated the radiated skin so much that she spent the night awake. From then on, she kept a long spoon and let the pot simmer from a distance. Small choices, big difference. The arm on the side of node removal deserves special attention. Early signs of lymphedema can be sneaky. A feeling of heaviness that makes the sleeve tighter at the end of the day, a little shine on the skin, rings that suddenly feel snug, or a faint ache that does not match your activity. If you notice that, rest the arm elevated on a pillow, moisturize the skin, avoid tight bracelets or sleeves, and plan a chat with your team. When cleared, gentle movements help circulation. Open and close your hands slowly. Lift the shoulders up and down within. Comfort. Make small circles with the wrists. Slide the arm up a wall just to the point of a stretch that does not hurt. Then relax. These are not workouts to burn calories. They are loving messages to the lymph system that tell it to move the fluid along. And please do not let anyone take blood pressure or blood from that arm if your team has advised against it. That boundary is protection, not drama. Midway through this part, I want to hear your voice. Tell me in the comments what everyday task is the hardest right now. You can write, "I need help with the sleeping position," or "I feel this too." Your words help another person feel normal, and they help me shape the next videos around what really matters in your house, not in a textbook. If this conversation is helping, consider a gentle like or share. It signals to the platform that this topic deserves space, and it brings one more woman into a safer morning. Food and fatigue deserve a clear light, because this is where confusion grows online. Your body just built a bridge over a canyon. It needs building blocks. Spread protein across the day, not only at dinner. Think eggs or yogurt in the morning if you tolerate dairy, beans or lentils at lunch, chicken or fish or tofu at dinner, and nuts or a small cheese or hummus as a snack if that works for you. Add color with fruits and vegetables, choose simple grains, and drink water through the day. During periods of low counts or if you have open wounds, be strict with hand washing, cooking temperatures, and avoiding raw animal products. There is no need to buy expensive powders to heal. The body knows what to do when you give it steady basics. About supplements, I will say this plainly, because the internet can be noisy. Some capsules can increase bleeding around surgery time, some antioxidants in high doses may work against certain therapies, and plant-based pills that act like hormones may not be right depending on your tumor type. Do not start or restart anything until you run it by your oncology team. Your case is unique and deserves that safety net. A patient once laughed through tears while telling me about her first attempt to go back to the gym. She walked in, and the music and mirrors made her feel like the old days. She grabbed a weight, lifted it above shoulder height, and felt an immediate pulling pain. She went home scared she had ruined everything. She had not. She had only asked too much, too soon. With her team, she built a plan that began with walking 10 minutes, then 15, then 20. She discovered that movement was not punishment, but medicine for anxiety, and that strength could return in a kinder way. Use movement like that. When fear builds, put on sneakers and go outside if you can. Walk and let your breath find a rhythm. You are teaching your nervous system that you are safe in the present moment. Keep your eyes open for signals that require a medical call. Fever, increasing redness, a bad-smelling discharge, shortness of breath, chest pain, a leg that swells or hurts suddenly, or a new strong headache are not the times to wait. On the other hand, a gentle tug at the scar when you reach a cup, a light warmth in radiated skin, or a pinch when you first try a new position are common. Learning this difference is not supposed to be your job, but no one lives in your body like you do. Track what happens, notice trends, and bring your notes. To the follow-up. Doctors love patterns because patterns tell a story. If this video feels like that friend who explains what the clinic handout forgot, consider subscribing. Here you will always find straight talk with kindness, week after week, so you can feel safer in your decisions and less alone at 3 in the morning. Before we close, let me hand you one more small daily habit that steals power from fear. Choose a time, maybe after breakfast, to stand in front of a mirror and look at your chest with the same eyes you would use with a child learning to walk. Do not judge, just notice. Name one thing that looks a tiny bit better than last week. It might be the edges of the scar softening, a patch of skin less angry, or the way your posture holds a millimeter taller. That is not vanity. That is proof that healing is happening in the tiniest of ways. And tiny is how we build a life again. Someone once told me that the scariest part after the last treatment was not the first follow-up, but the quiet Tuesday in the kitchen when a small headache arrived and her mind jumped straight to the darkest place. That is the essence of the fear of recurrence. It is a ghost who loves silence and hates facts. The fear asks, what if? The body whispers, probably healing. The fear shouts, are you sure? The goal here is not to eradicate the ghost, because that is not how human brains work after trauma. The goal is to give it less volume. There are a few anchors that I have seen work across thousands of conversations, and they are simple enough to practice at home while staying fully aligned with your medical team. The first anchor is to name the pattern. The days or weeks before scans and tests tend to be the peak of dread. Many people call this anxiety because the mind writes the worst scene before the result even exists. Start noticing when your fear climbs the hill. Put it on a calendar. 2 weeks before a scan, mark extra kindness in. The day planning. Book a walk with a friend who understands and will not minimize. Set a plan to make the night before more about comfort than productivity. Prepare a meal that does not upset your stomach. Make a short playlist that calms you, not one that tries to pump you up. Tell one person that you will text them after the appointment so you are not waiting alone in a noisy mind. Facts help in the appointment room too. Bring a small notebook where you write the 2 or 3 questions that matter most. Some survivors feel guilty for asking what seems silly. Ask anyway. A good team cares about your sleep as much as your scans. If a symptom worries you, describe it with clear details. When did it start? What makes it better? What makes it worse? Did anything change recently in medicines or routine? Specifics help your doctor tell the difference between normal healing and a sign that needs attention. The second anchor is breathing with structure. I know it. Sounds too simple. But the body and mind are one system, and when fear is high, your heart rate and adrenaline climb. The square breath is a grounded practice you can do in a chair, in a car before walking into the clinic, or in bed when thoughts spin. Breathe into a slow 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. Repeat this 5 or 6 times. If 4 feels long, use 3. The numbers do not matter. The even shape does. Many women tell me that after 2 rounds, their shoulders drop a little and the flood of thoughts loses speed. That pause is enough to let a more balanced thought in. Like, for the last 3 days, this has not grown. Or my last scan was clear and my doctor is watching me closely. The third anchor is what I call compassionate vigilance. You are allowed to check your body. You are also allowed to make the check kind. Pick a consistent time of day a few times a week rather than scanning all day long. Touch gently around the scar. Look at the skin. Compare both arms for swelling. If you find something that is different and concerning, write it down and give it 24 to 48 hours unless it is an emergency sign. Many transient changes settle in a day. If it persists or grows, call. This rhythm keeps you from living in constant alarm while still honoring your wisdom about your own body. Nutrition and supplements live in this same space of balanced care. You do not need exotic powders or extreme rules. Focus on protein, color, fiber, and water. Limit alcohol because it can disrupt hormones in sleep, and it adds anxiety the next morning, which is the last thing you need. If you are thinking about vitamins or herbal teas, remember that natural can still interact with medicines. High doses of certain antioxidants during some treatments, oils that thin the blood close to surgery, or herbal pills that act like estrogen may not fit your tumor type. Bring everything you are taking or thinking of, taking to your oncology team. There is no shame in asking. You are not being difficult. You are being wise. Around this point, I want to invite you to leave a comment that could help someone breathe easier. Tell me what part of the fear visits you the most. Is it the night before a scan? Is it the morning ache that makes you freeze? Right. I feel this too if words are hard today. Seeing those 4 simple words in a thread has made many women feel less strange in their own minds. If this video is meeting you where you are, a gentle like or share spreads this care to others who are the only ones awake at 3 a.m. Movement is another medicine with almost no side effects when cleared by your team. Think of it as polishing the lens through which your brain sees the world. A 10-minute walk in daylight tells your internal clock what time it is and improves sleep that night. Gentle stretching reminds your chest that it can expand without danger. If you feel safe, add a calm practice like restorative yoga. No contortions. Just positions supported by pillows that allow your breath to soften the tight places left by surgery or radiation. A woman once explained that she would lie down with a pillow, long ways under her spine, another under each arm, and let her chest open like a book for 5 minutes while breathing slowly. She said that after a week, the pulling sensation shifted into something softer and her mind stopped bracing every time she reached for a mug. Words matter in your own head. Your inner voice can be a harsh critic or a patient teacher. When a scary thought arrives, try to add a simple end to the sentence. The thought might be, what if it came back? Add, and my next scan is scheduled, and my team has a plan if anything changes. Or add, and this exact pain got better when I rested last time. You are not lying to yourself. You are adding truth that fear ignores. Community is the final anchor here. Group support, whether in person or online, turns isolation into belonging. Listening to another survivor describe the same bathroom mirror moment or the same phantom pain removes the shame as if by magic. If a group is not available, even one friend who agrees to be your scan buddy by text makes a bigger difference than it sounds. If this video has been a companion today, consider subscribing so this calm arrives in your feed every week. We share explanations that doctors often do not have time to give in the visit, in the exact language that fits in a tired brain. You deserve that kind of care. Before we close this part, I want to give you a phrase to carry into your next quiet Tuesday. Courage is not a feeling. Courage is a choice made in the presence of fear. You have already proven that you can do hard things. The ghost will visit. You will have a plan. Breath, facts, gentle checks, movement, food that loves you back, and people who speak your language. That is not pretending. Everything is fine. That is building a life where fear is a passenger and you are at the wheel. There was someone who told me that her turning point was a simple morning at the kitchen table with a cup of tea that finally tasted like something again. She said, I realized I had been waiting to feel like my old self to start living, and the old self was not coming back. So I made a different promise. I will build a life that fits the person who survived. That sentence could be the quiet motto of this last part. You do not need to wrestle the fear to the ground. You can make a home around it that is so full of care that the fear has fewer places to echo. The first brick is routine, not as a prison, but as a rhythm that your body trusts. Wake at a steady time. Get light in your eyes early by stepping outside or opening the window. Eat simple meals at regular hours. Move your body daily in a way that feels kind, and create a bedtime ritual that your nervous system learns. As a lullaby, routines are not boring. They are the scaffolding that holds you on the days when worry tries to blow you sideways. Add the brick of movement with patience. After clearance from your team, build in layers. Start with walking most days, then add gentle strength work focused on posture and shoulder mobility, with light resistance no higher than what feels easy at first. Think of picking up a soft bag of groceries, not pushing through pain. Respect the signals. Pain that sharpens or lingers is a request to pause, not a dare to push harder. Breath-led movement practices can be powerful here because they reconnect your mind and chest in a language beyond words. Another brick is your relationship with your reflection. Many survivors avoid mirrors because the mirror has been a place of grief. I want to invite a different practice. Choose a time once a week to look at yourself with the curiosity you would offer a dear friend. Trace the lines of your scar with your eyes and name the work your body did to keep you here. Moisturize the skin with slow hands. If you have radiated areas, use the product your team recommends. This is not vanity. It is reclaiming your body from the story of illness. It is also early detection done with tenderness, since you will notice changes faster when you are not afraid to look. The social world is another place of reconstruction. Tell your family what helps and what hurts. It is common for partners or friends to say think positive or the worst is over out of love and discomfort. Give them a simple script. When I say I am afraid, please say I hear you. I am here. What would help right now? When I ask you to check my scar, please use gentle light. Tell me what you see in plain words, and then remind me we can call the team if needed. Teaching people how to care for you is not a burden. It is a gift to both sides. Around this point, I want to invite a comment that could guide others. Share one small change that made a big difference for you. You can write small change, big difference, and then describe it. Maybe it was switching the side of the seatbelt, or keeping a soft pillow under the arm during a car ride, or stopping blood pressure checks on the surgery arm at the dentist. Your practical wisdom will spare someone else a night of worry. If this video is giving you that feeling of finally someone explained it the way I needed, a gentle like or share shows the platform that these conversations matter and pushes this care to more homes. Let us also speak clearly about the mind. Therapy with someone who understands cancer is not a luxury. It is a tool. Cognitive strategies help you challenge the catastrophic thoughts that take over in the dark. Trauma-informed therapy helps your brain file the experience in a place where alarms do not ring all day. If therapy is not accessible right now, borrow tools. Write down the scary thought. Write down the evidence for and against it. Write down the most likely explanation, and write down the next tiny step you will take, whether that is a call to the clinic or a decision to revisit the symptom tomorrow. Work with your medical team as partners. Bring your concerns, ask your questions, and set a schedule for follow-ups that feels safe but not suffocating. Learn which symptoms require urgent contact and which can be monitored. Keep a simple folder for reports so you do not need to dig through emails at midnight. Knowledge does not erase fear, but it keeps fear from inventing stories in the dark. Food remains a daily kindness and a steady ground. Keep a grocery list that serves your healing. Protein sources you enjoy, easy fruits, vegetables you know how to cook, whole grains you can prepare without stress, spices and herbs that make food smell alive again. If your appetite is low, eat smaller amounts more often. If nausea lingers, cold foods or room temperature may sit better than hot. If constipation is an issue after surgery or pain medicines, increase fiber slowly and drink water. If a friend asks how to help, accept a meal with clear boundaries about ingredients if you need them. If you are considering supplements, remember the safety rule. Ask your team. High-dose pills are not always better. Some are not suitable at certain times. Your safety is precious. I remember a story of a woman who loved green tea and switched to a concentrated capsule because someone online said it was powerful. She did not know it interacted with a medicine she was taking. Her oncologist caught it and they adjusted safely. The lesson is not fear of everything. It is partnership and information. As we step toward the close, I want to plant one more seed. Purpose after cancer does not mean starting a foundation or changing the world. Purpose can be watering a plant every morning and watching it respond. It can be sending a message to a newly diagnosed friend that says, "I am here and I will sit with you at your appointment if you want." It can be finishing a puzzle, learning a song, or walking the same block and noticing how the light changes on the trees. Purpose is anything that reminds you that your life is more than scans and reminders in your phone. If this video has held your hand today, I invite you to subscribe. Here, you will never be alone. Every week, we bring plain language guidance that answers the questions doctors often do not have time to cover. We help you feel safer making choices, and we remind you that there is real life to be lived in the middle of uncertainty. Click subscribe and make this community your companion. I want to leave you with a closing that is not a slogan, but a truth earned through countless mornings. The fear may never vanish completely. It can become a quieter companion. Your scars are not a sign of brokenness. They are a map of places you crossed with courage. The person in the mirror is not the person from before, and that is not a loss without meaning. It is an evolution. You have already done the hardest thing. Now the work is softer, but no less brave. Build your routine. Protect your healing arm. Learn the difference between normal healing and warning signs. Choose food that loves you back. Move in ways that calm your nerves. Ask for help. Offer help. Speak kindly to yourself. And when the ghost of what if sits on the edge of your bed, hand it a cup of tea and tell it that you have plans today. Then go live them, one ordinary, extraordinary day at a time.